Hey, what's going on? I wanted to give an update on the Turbo R. I think the last video I had, I just talked about the damage that I caused. I kinked the lower A-arm, or the upper A-arm, and blew apart the tire going 4 mile an hour. I had 10 PSI, and I just hit a rock, no bigger than like a 5-gallon bucket. Just came up on it and just stopped me dead in my tracks, and it kinked my upper A-arm right behind the shock, and the wheel held up fine, but it blew apart my tire too. It was beyond repair. So I ended up limping that back to camp that night, and we just got done doing no business. And on our way back from there, that's when I clipped the rock and did that. So anyways, since then I did the ORB upper A-arms, and I did the Gen 2 upper and lower ball joints. So for anybody who don't know, the Gen 2 was like late 23 to present. They updated or upgraded the shank size on the, I guess it's the lower ball joint only. I think the upper ball joints are the same, if I'm not mistaken, but the lower ball joints at least have a larger shank size now. So, but anyways, I did all 4 new ball joints, the Gen 2 on the lower and a new set on the upper. I'm not gonna pay like $550 for Keller ball joints when people still have problems with those. They might be stronger, but I'm not gonna buy things that require maintenance or adjustments, and people still complain about them. They still have problems. So I'm gonna go with the factory. They work fine. They held up to bending an A-arm, so I'm thinking they're just strong enough. They'll work, at least for me. But so I did the upper A-arms, I did all 4 ball joints, and then while I was at it, I thought, why not, and do the dual rate spring kit from MTS, and then I did their limit strap setup that they have as well. So originally, obviously, the factory springs, they collapse and then they get real weak and you can't really hold your ride height anymore. And that happened within like 500 miles. So I decided to go a cheap route and buy tender springs, and that was a disaster. It rode like a dump truck. The manufacturer said that, you know, money back guarantee, all this stuff. And I put them on, I followed their instructions, I set them up, but I had like, I don't know, it was close to like 20 inches of ground clearance, which was way too much. The axle angle, I don't remember what the angle was anymore, but it was way too much axle angle for these axles. And the springs were as loose as they could be, which would give it, you know, lower the car as much as possible. And I couldn't go any lower to get my numbers correct. And so I called the manufacturer and I told them what was going on, and they said, well, I don't know what I'm doing. I didn't install them correctly. I should have went to a shop. So I explained what I did and how I put them together, and so anyways, I did it all correctly, but they said that they've never had a complaint before. They sell hundreds of kits every week, and they don't understand why I'm having a problem. Well, I am. It's just, it rides like crap and I can't get any of my numbers right. So they did give me half of my money back, but they refused to return them. I tried to ship them back, but they won't do that. So I did get half my money back. That was cool, I guess. But they told me that all the spring rates, at least for this car, are all the same. And even like MTS or Shock Therapy or all the other companies out there, they always use the same spring rate no matter what you have done to your car, whether it be a cage, full build, whatever, bone stock, desert riding, slow woods ride. He said they're all the same spring rate. He said the only reason why you have all those options on their website is so the customer feels better about what they're purchasing. So from there, I realized I can't talk to this guy anymore. Basically hung up on him because I'm so tired of hearing just idiots talk. So I hung up with him, and then I saw MTS was running 10% off, free shipping. So I talked to them for a little bit on my setup that I would want. I don't have a lot of stuff done to this car. I might do a cage at some point, but I'm not adding a whole bunch of weight. I don't want a whole bunch of weight. I ride slow trails around here. I just need something that's a little bit more plush, kind of like how it was from factory originally. So I got set up with that, and I did the limit straps, because when you do, you know, fully extend the front shocks, I mean, you do feel it in the steering wheel with your shock fully extending, the clunking and stuff. So that was nice. I do like that I got the limit straps, but now it's all set up correctly. The ride height's good. It rides really nice and smooth now. I'd say it's probably a little bit better than stock. Like, it's pretty close to how it was when I first bought the car, but it might, I think it does take the bumps a little bit better. I mean, of course, now I'm running 35s, so that does change it a little bit as well. But anyways, so there's that. But I did an exhaust as well. I did PLM manufacturer. Well, it's private label manufacturing, it's called. So it's full stainless. It resembles another exhaust company, but if you follow anything in the UTV world, you'll know exactly what muffler that looks like. And I've contacted both companies and nobody really responds. Nobody will give me a straight answer if it is or isn't. But if you do some homework on the private label manufacturing, I don't know, it's interesting. But that exhaust was $325 to my door, and it sounds great. It's pretty close to stock at idle and low RPMs, but then if you stand on it, everybody knows it opens up really good. And then they have the cutout version as well if you want that on a switch, but I didn't want that. So tires, not great, kind of hate them. The ORB rock scrapers, rock monsters, whatever you call them. I believe it's Vision who makes the tire, but ORB buys the tire and then puts their name on them. As far as I don't know, a couple of manufacturers or a couple of companies sell this tire with their names on them. So ORB is getting expensive because everybody thinks ORB makes this tire. But from my homework, it's just another third-party company. So I try to do that with a lot of my parts that I buy for this. I don't really want to buy name brand, top of the line, pay the most that you can pay for that part, where you can just go straight to the company who makes the part and get it for a lot cheaper. So from what I'm finding out is there's a lot of companies that do that. They like buy the rights to put their name on it and then they sell it under their name. So you can kind of cut out the middleman and just go straight to the source and pay a lot less for the same product. So nobody really says that they do that, but it's kind of interesting how it's the exact tire. You could do your own homework, but same tire. The muffler looks very similar to another one. The welds start and stop at the same places. All their bracketry is the same. You can get different logos put on the back of that heat shield. So yeah, but anyways, I just opted for the cheapest one because I don't really care what it looks like or what it says. I mean, raw is fine because powder coat and paint chip, and I don't really care about that. And then I don't care what it says on the back, so that's fine. But same with the wheels, the Vision, I don't remember the name of the wheel now. It's like the 202 or 204 BB, I think it's called. But it's a Vision beadlock with, on the inside lip, it kind of has the Method bead grip technology, they call it, on the lip. So kind of holds the inside tire bead in the rim itself. I changed that one tire that I blew apart by hand, and it was the hardest tire I've ever had to change by hand. So I'm probably not gonna do that again. I'm either buying a tire tool or I'll be taking them somewhere. But I think for the price of a Harbor Freight tire tool, it would be the same price for me to go get one tire changed. And with having these tires, I'm gonna be changing a lot of tires, because that tire, I think one of those have a really big slit in it now. It's not leaking yet, but the sidewalls on these are just horrible. Both back tires have plugs in them. This one front tire, it might be the passenger front, not the one I changed, but that one has a big slit. So I don't know how long that'll be until that one falls apart. But a buddy of mine went to Rockzilla's, so he sold me his old set for real cheap. So I tossed the one that I destroyed and replaced it with one of his. And now I have 3 extra ones. So I got a good deal on them, so I bought them because tires aren't cheap. So I thought I'd, you know, try to run them as long as I can at least. Try to get my money's worth out of them because I don't know what I'll buy next, if it'll be the Rockzilla or if I'll go with another tire. But I don't know, we'll run them for now. As long as I stay, you know, on easy trails and don't try to like rock climb with them or, you know, slide up against anything, they work okay. I mean, they got good grip in the mud for the most part. They got good grip on the rock and stuff. So, but yeah, if you try to turn around a tire or go around a rock or something, I mean, they're very flimsy. I don't care what the ply is. The ply that they state is always on the top of the tire, like where the tread is. But what matters is like the sidewall ply, like how strong the sidewalls are actually. And I don't know what ply the sidewall is, but it's very thin. When I cut that tire apart, even you can tell like there's not a whole lot of rubber there on the sidewalls. Maybe that's how most tires are, but I always ran Tusk Terabytes on the old YXZ that I had, and I never had any issues with it at all. So, and then I get these, and almost every time you go ride, you have to put plugs in them. So, I don't know, but we're gonna run these until I can't run them no more, and I'll have to figure out something else to do. I don't know if I want Terabytes or not, because they don't really do that great with grip on the rocks since they're like a DOT tire, but we'll see. But anyways, that's kind of an update on the Turbo R. It got nicknamed the Billy Goat the other weekend. A couple, 2 weeks ago, I guess. Might have been 3. I went up past my house and went riding, and there was a pretty big hill. And a friend of mine went up it and made it look easy. And so I think it was like the weekend after that, another buddy I took up there, we all went riding up there, and he thought he had to try it, so he went, tried it, and ended up breaking his front diff. And then another buddy that was with us, he had a 4-seater Can-Am, he tried it and broke 2 axles. And well, we should have turned around there and went back to the trailer, or went back home basically, and we decided to keep going, try to get to the next trail and try to finish our day just kind of limp. And in doing so, the guy who broke his front diff, his wheel, I guess his lug nuts got loose. So his wheel ended up egg-shaped or wallowing out the holes, and the lug nuts were breaking. So that was a mess trying to get him out. And also the Can-Am broke another axle. So he only had one rear axle that was trying to get him out, and it wasn't working. So I ended up I pulled him up by winch on some of the hills, and we got fairly far, but when it got closer to like where the stone roads are, there were a couple hills we had no choice. So I ended up hooking a strap to the back of my car and pulling him for a couple hours, getting him up out where we were. And some of the hills, I mean, it was muddy back there. It's always muddy and hilly, and I mean, it's just kind of a rough area back there. And I couldn't get up it, even with him trying to help with one axle. He was trying, but it wasn't working. So I ended up running my winch line, and I had a guy out in front. He kept moving my winch line up through as we kept trying to work our way up this hill. And it was a lot. I was really scared for my car, but turns out like that thing, the front diff held up, all my axles, everything seemed fine. That low gear with 35s is just perfect. It just works. So I don't have any clutching or nothing done to the car. I just put a muffler on at 35s, and that's basically it. So for that to go out and do that and pull a 4-seater Can-Am, and he had 35s. I don't really know much about Can-Am, never had one, but the X3, I just don't think handles the 35s like the Turbo R and the Pro R can. I mean, you throw 35s on this and go, you're fine. Well, a Can-Am. I think you can make them strong enough, but it takes a lot of money and a lot of parts to make a Can-Am handle 35s reliably. So, yeah, it didn't work out too good for him. I don't even know what tire. Oh, I think he had the same tire that I had, but it just, yeah, everything he tried to do, it just broke an axle, it seemed like. And then we had a XP 1000 with us on 32s, and I don't remember what all happened to him. His winch stopped working, his clutch, something with his clutch happened. He was in limp mode for half the day trying to get back to the trailer also, but luckily he could hold his own and we didn't have to really pull him anywhere. But yeah, it was a mess. So we left my house here at 11 a.m. and we did not get home till 2:30 in the morning. And we were right up the road from my house, and we rode like 15 miles. Nobody really brought any food, not much to drink. It was a great time. So yeah, it kind of sucked, but hopefully we learned a lot from that day, and we need to realize how far we are and where we're actually located before we try to do anything dumb, like breaking parts, because I'm trying to be a conservative on my machine. I don't want to break stuff because it's expensive. I mean, yeah, it's stupid. I just wanted to like go riding around and have a good time. And in doing that, I put my machine through a lot of hell trying to get everybody else out of the woods. So yeah, we're not gonna continue doing that. That's the last of that. I mean, I helped, I got them out, but yeah, I'm not into that kind of riding. We go back here often and never really have any problems, but now this time everything happened all at once, and it was a day. But anyways, that's pretty much the update on that. Pretty happy with it. The old Arctic Cat back here is doing great still, like normal. It just keeps on going. I just cleaned it. Yeah, it's got like 400 miles on it. I think I got it when I had like 150. I have a little mower. My little mower is a little beast. I put ATV whole shot looking tires on. It's actually snowmobile front tires, or not snowmobile, snowblower front tires, and then the back tires were just some cheap eBay look-alike whole shot tire. But they're aired down pretty far, and they take my, well, I can show you my yard if you don't know what my yard looks like. But yeah, that little mower does great out here. I had a push mower, and well, I'd still do, but man, it sucked. I just pushed it up a driveway and then started at the top and then worked my way down. But man, I'm like beat. I'm dead by the time I got done mowing. And yeah, that little mower does great now with those whole shot tires on there. So that's pretty cool. But anyways, I guess that's about it. I guess, yeah, if anybody has any questions or something, let me know. But there's a chance that I'll look at my comments. Probably not. I don't really get notifications for my comments. Don't really know why, but I can't figure out why it won't. But, all right, that's it. See ya.